The custody battle for Michael Jackson's 3 children rages on. Jackson's mother seems to have won the first round, with the Los Angeles court granting her temporary guardianship of the 3 children left behind by the pop star. Since Jackson's death, ex-wife Debbie Rowe has never spoken out on whether she will fight for the children's custody.
Welcome back to Black Legend. Do you still remember that shocking moment in 2002 when Michael Jackson dangled his baby son over a hotel balcony in Berlin? The whole world was horrified. That little boy wrapped in a blanket was Blanket Jackson, now known as Bigi Jackson. Today, we're diving deep into the biggest mystery surrounding him. Who is Bigi's real mother? Michael Jackson took that secret to his grave. From the controversial balcony incident that shocked the planet, to his hidden life after losing his father, and the rare unseen family videos almost no one has seen, get ready for some truly shocking revelations. The mysterious and inspiring story of Michael Jackson's most private son starts right now. Part 1. Blanket's shocking balcony nightmare. Let's go back to the very beginning. On February 21, 2002, in a hospital in San Diego, California, Michael Jackson welcomed his 3rd child into the world. The baby boy was officially named Prince Michael Jackson II. But from the moment he held that precious newborn in his arms, Michael had a special name for him: Blanket. Michael once explained the meaning behind it so beautifully. He said, "A blanket is more than just fabric. A blanket is a blessing. It's a way of showing love and caring." For Michael, wrapping his son in that blanket was his way of protecting him and showering him with the love he always wanted to give. You could see the pure joy in his eyes whenever he looked at little Blanket. Family members who were around during those early days said Michael would light up the entire room. He'd pick up his son, hold him close, and sometimes even shout with excitement, "That's my boy! Look at him!" He was over the moon. This was his son, his blood, his legacy. But Blanket's arrival into the world wasn't quiet. Just a few months after his birth, in November 2002, Michael made a decision that would follow Blanket for the rest of his life. While on tour in Berlin, Germany, standing on the balcony of the Adlon Hotel, Michael proudly showed his baby boy to hundreds of screaming fans below. In a moment of pure fatherly excitement, he held Blanket over the railing, wrapped safely in a blanket, for just a few seconds. The crowd went wild, but the media exploded. Headlines screamed danger, people called it reckless. The world was horrified, accusing Michael of putting his infant son at risk. The images spread like wildfire across every news channel. It became one of the most controversial moments in Michael's entire life. Later, Michael deeply regretted how it looked. In a public apology, he explained that he had simply been swept up in the moment.
Feel the baby's presence. And, I get caught up in the moment. It's holding on tight. Just let them give a wave. But it happens for like 2 seconds. But when it gets on the news, they slow it down. They don't show the crowd. It makes me look like I'm this eccentric idiot dangling his baby over a balcony like a nut. See, they don't show you the whole story.
They said that sort of thing about you.
Yeah, no, they said that, but they're wrong. They're stupid. They're nuts.
Still, that single moment would haunt Blanket for years. Despite the chaos surrounding him from day one, little Blanket grew up surrounded by love inside the Jackson family bubble. Michael was extremely protective. He kept his youngest son mostly shielded from the public eye, wanting him to have as normal a childhood as possible, something Michael himself never really had. But everything changed on June 25, 2009. When Michael tragically passed away, Blanket was only 7 years old. Losing his father at such a young age was devastating. The little boy, who had already been thrust into the spotlight, now had to navigate life without the one person who protected him the most. His grandmother, Katherine Jackson, stepped in as his legal guardian. Along with his older siblings, Prince and Paris, and the support of cousins like T.J. Jackson, Blanket tried to find stability in a world that was constantly watching. As he grew older, the name Blanket started becoming more of a burden than a blessing. School kids can be cruel, and Blanket faced relentless bullying because of his unusual nickname. Imagine being a teenager and having everyone tease you about a name that came from one of the most infamous moments of your childhood. It hurt. In 2015, at the age of 13, Blanket made a powerful decision. He officially changed his name to Bigi. It was his way of taking control of his own identity and stepping out from under the shadow of that painful nickname. From then on, he wanted to be known simply as Bigi Jackson. Even with the name change, Bigi has always carried his father's spirit. Those who know him say he's quiet, thoughtful, and incredibly resilient. He loves martial arts, something that helps him stay disciplined and strong. He's also a huge video game fan, spending hours immersed in virtual worlds where he can just be a normal kid. Looking back at those early years, it's clear that Bigi's life was never ordinary. Born into unimaginable fame, surrounded by love, yet constantly under scrutiny, he learned from a very young age what it means to be a Jackson. The joy his father felt holding him for the first time, the controversy that followed, the loss, the bullying, and ultimately his decision to redefine himself. Every chapter shaped the young man he is today. And trust me, there's so much more to his story. Part 2. Who is Bigi's real mother? The secret Michael took to his grave. Now, let's talk about the biggest mystery in Bigi Jackson's life, one that still shocks fans even today. Who is his real mother? When Blanket was born on February 21, 2002, there was no proud mother standing beside Michael Jackson in the delivery room. No family photos of a glowing mom holding her newborn. Instead, everything was shrouded in secrecy. Bigi was born through a surrogate mother using artificial insemination with Michael's own sperm. This meant Michael was 100% the biological father, something he repeatedly emphasized to the world. In a rare and revealing interview, Michael opened up about how his youngest son was conceived. He said calmly but firmly, "I used a surrogate mother on my own sperm cells. I had my own sperm cells in my other 2 children. They're all my children. But I used a surrogate mother. She doesn't know me. I don't know her." Those words sent shockwaves through the media. Michael explained that he had a legal contract with the surrogate. They agreed never to reveal her identity. He wanted to protect her from the intense media storm that always surrounded him. He said the woman didn't want fame, tabloids, or the chaos that came with being linked to Michael Jackson. And Michael respected that wish completely. But of course, the rumors didn't stop there. After Michael's sudden death in 2009, the tabloids went into overdrive trying to uncover the identity of Blanket's surrogate mother. One of the most persistent and widely circulated stories pointed to a Mexican-American nurse named Helena. According to reports from outlets like the Daily Mirror and other celebrity news sources at the time, Michael had been extremely meticulous in choosing the right surrogate. He reportedly reviewed several candidates before settling on Helena. Sources claimed he wanted a woman with a Latino background, but also a U.S. citizen with fair skin and a strong, healthy family history. Michael was said to be very particular about genetics. He wanted his child to have certain features and a clean bill of health. The story goes that Helena was paid approximately $20,000 for her role as surrogate. She allegedly gave birth to Blanket at Sharp Grossmont Hospital in San Diego, California, on February 21, 2002. Some insiders even claimed that Michael had met Helena briefly during the process and was satisfied with her background and personality. There were whispers that she worked as a nurse, which gave Michael confidence in her medical knowledge and caring nature. For years, this Helena story became the dominant narrative whenever fans discussed Blanket's mother. Tabloids published dramatic headlines like "Michael Jackson's Secret Surrogate Revealed," and published alleged details about how the arrangement was handled through lawyers to ensure complete confidentiality. Some reports suggested Helena signed strict non-disclosure agreements and was never meant to have any contact with the child after the birth. However, despite all the sensational claims, the story has never been officially confirmed. To this day, no verified photos of Helena have ever surfaced. Her full last name remains unknown to the public. No official documents, hospital records, or direct interviews have come forward to prove the claims. Many believe the story was leaked by someone close to the surrogacy agency, or possibly even someone within Michael's inner circle looking for money after his death. This lack of concrete evidence has only made the mystery deeper and more intriguing. Some fans speculate that Helena might still be living a quiet life somewhere in California or Mexico, bound by the agreements she signed. Others wonder if Bigi himself knows the truth or has ever tried to reach out. The Helena rumor remains one of the most enduring Hollywood secrets, a story that blends fact, speculation, and the unbreakable privacy wall Michael Jackson built around his youngest son. Even in 2026, whenever Bigi makes a rare public appearance, comment sections light up with the same question: is Helena watching too? What we do know for sure is that Michael was extremely private about the entire process. He wanted his children to feel like they were fully his. He once said he didn't want the surrogate to have any claim or connection afterward. Everything was handled through lawyers and strict confidentiality agreements. This was Michael's way of creating a family on his own terms, protecting his kids from the kind of pain and public scrutiny he had suffered his whole life. For Bigi himself, this missing piece of his identity must have been incredibly difficult. Growing up without knowing who carried him for 9 months, without any stories about his mother's pregnancy or the day he was born, that's a heavy weight for any child. While his older siblings, Prince and Paris, had their mother Debbie Rowe in their lives, at least early on, Bigi had no known biological mother figure. He only had his father, his grandmother Catherine, and the extended Jackson family. Michael always made it crystal clear Bigi is 100% his biological son. He wanted the world to understand that this wasn't an adoption or a random child. This was his flesh and blood. In interviews, he would light up when talking about all 3 of his kids, treating them equally with fierce fatherly love. But the absence of a mother's name on the birth certificate only added more fuel to the conspiracy theories. Even years later, fans and journalists still dig for answers. Some believe the surrogate was paid to stay silent forever. Others think Michael may have used an egg donor as well, meaning Bigi might have a biological mother out there whose identity is completely hidden. But Michael took most of those secrets with him when he passed away in 2009. Today, Bigi is a grown man in his 20s. Does he know the full truth about his mother? Has he ever tried to find her? These are questions only Bigi can answer, and so far, he has chosen to stay completely silent on the topic, just like his father wanted. This mystery is what makes Bigi's story so fascinating and heartbreaking at the same time. In a family famous for being in the spotlight, one of the most basic facts about his existence remains hidden behind legal contracts, NDAs, and decades of silence. The question still echoes: who is Bigi Jackson's real mother, and will we ever truly know? Part 4. Losing Michael. Bigi's hidden pain after 2009. June 25, 2009. That date is burned into the hearts of millions of Michael Jackson fans around the world. But for 7-year-old Blanket Jackson, it was the day his entire world shattered. On that tragic Thursday evening, Michael Jackson was rushed to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles. Despite desperate attempts to save him, the King of Pop was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The official cause was cardiac arrest brought on by acute propofol intoxication. For little Blanket, who had just lost his father at such a tender age, The news must have felt like the end of everything he knew. Michael had always been his protector, his shield from the crazy outside world. Now, at only 7 years old, Blanket was suddenly thrust into a whirlwind of grief, media frenzy, and legal battles. The Jackson family was in chaos. In the days following Michael's death, his mother, Catherine Jackson, was named the permanent guardian of Blanket and his siblings, Prince and Paris. Catherine, already in her late 70s, took on the enormous responsibility of raising 3 grieving children while the whole world watched. The early years after 2009 were incredibly difficult. Blanket reportedly struggled the most among the 3 siblings to cope with the loss. Those close to the family said he became very quiet and withdrawn. The little boy who once ran around Neverland Ranch now had to adjust to a new reality without his dad. There were rumors that Blanket had nightmares and emotional outbursts in the months following the funeral. The family tried to keep the children away from the media circus, but it was almost impossible. Paparazzi followed their every move. As Catherine got older and her health became a concern, custody arrangements changed. In 2012, Michael's nephew, T.J. Jackson, son of Tito Jackson, was granted co-guardianship. T.J., who was in his mid-30s at the time, became a father figure to Blanket and his siblings. He helped provide the stability and normalcy the kids desperately needed. T.J. later spoke about how challenging it was to raise Michael's children while honoring their father's wishes for privacy. Blanket attended the Buckley School, a prestigious private school in Sherman Oaks, California. It was a place where he could try to live like a regular kid. He focused on his studies and stayed out of trouble. Classmates described him as polite but reserved, someone who didn't talk much about his famous last name. Away from school, Blanket found comfort in 2 main passions: martial arts and video games. Martial arts gave him discipline, confidence, and an outlet for his emotions. Video games offered an escape, a world where he could be anyone, not just Michael Jackson's son. By his late teens, Bigi, as he now preferred to be called, began to step into more independence. Around 2020, after turning 18, he made a major move. He purchased his own $2.62 million starter home in Calabasas, California. It was a significant step toward adulthood, his own space away from the family compound. The house was described as modest by celebrity standards, but beautiful and private, giving Bigi the quiet life he always craved. Despite his low profile, Bigi has made a few rare public appearances that fans still talk about. In May 2019, he showed up at his older brother, Prince's graduation from Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles. Dressed sharply, standing proudly beside his family, it was one of the sweetest sibling moments captured on camera. He looked genuinely happy for Prince, a quiet show of family love. He has also joined family events honoring his father, including appearances at Michael Jackson 1 shows in Las Vegas. But these moments are few and far between. Bigi prefers to stay hidden. Unlike Paris, who has been open about her struggles, or Prince, who has spoken more publicly, Bigi remains the most mysterious Jackson child. There have been rumors over the years about tensions within the family. Some tabloids claimed Bigi had a more distant relationship with his grandmother Catherine in recent years. There were even stories in 2024 suggesting legal disagreements over finances or guardianship matters. However, the family has never confirmed any major drama. What we do see is a young man trying to build his own path while carrying the enormous weight of the Jackson legacy. Today, Bigi lives a relatively quiet life in Calabasas. He's in his mid-20s, focused on personal growth, filmmaking, and staying true to the values his father tried to instill in him. Those who have met him describe him as kind, thoughtful, and incredibly grounded, a testament to the strength he developed after losing his father so young. The years after 2009 were filled with pain, adjustment, and quiet resilience. From a heartbroken 7-year-old boy to a private young man buying his own home and pursuing his passions, Bigi's journey shows incredible inner strength. He may not seek the spotlight, but his story of survival and self-discovery continues to fascinate the world. Michael may be gone, but his youngest son is living proof that the Jackson spirit, that unbreakable will, lives on. Part 5. Bigi's Secret Life, Rare Videos and Hidden Talents. While his siblings have been more open with the public, Bigi Jackson has built a life that feels almost normal. But behind the privacy, there are fascinating layers and rare moments that reveal who he really is. In 2019, Bigi took a surprising step into the spotlight with his older brother Prince. Together with their cousin Taj Jackson, they launched a YouTube channel called Film Family. It was a passion project born from their shared love of movies. Their first video, a review of Avengers Endgame, dropped in May 2019 and quickly caught fans' attention. For the first time, people got to see Bigi in a relaxed, fun setting, talking about films he genuinely enjoyed. The channel featured honest, laid-back movie reviews. They covered big blockbusters like Avengers, Endgame, and more indie titles like The Way Back. The videos gave fans a precious glimpse into the Jackson siblings' dynamic, laughing together, debating plot twists, and bonding over cinema. Although the channel didn't last very long, it went quiet around 2020, likely due to the pandemic. Those episodes remain treasured by fans as some of the most authentic content the Jackson kids have ever shared. Bigi's love for film didn't stop there. He has a real passion for filmmaking. In recent years, he has worked behind the camera, and one of his short films even won Best Drama at the Santa Monica Film Festival in 2024. This achievement showed a creative side that many people didn't expect from the quietest Jackson child. Those close to him say Bigi has a natural eye for storytelling. He understands emotion, pacing, and visual detail in a way that feels almost instinctive. Some insiders whisper that this talent might be one of his most special hidden gifts, an ability to capture raw human feelings on screen, perhaps influenced by the complex emotions he experienced growing up. Beyond filmmaking, Bigi maintains an extremely private lifestyle. He lives in his Calabasas home, focusing on personal growth, family, and his hobbies. Martial arts remain a big part of his routine. It's not just exercise for him, it's meditation and discipline. He's also still an avid gamer, often unwinding with the latest titles after a long day. Unlike Paris, who has been very open about mental health struggles, or Prince, who has taken on more public roles, Bigi chooses peace and low drama. He rarely posts on social media and avoids controversies. Still, there have been a handful of rare public appearances that fans treasure. In 2019, he attended Prince's university graduation, a proud big brother moment. In August 2023, he joined family members at a Michael Jackson 1 performance in Las Vegas on what would have been his father's 65th birthday. And in April 2026, Bigi made headlines again when he walked the red carpet at the world premiere of the Michael biopic in Berlin alongside Prince and cousin Jafar Jackson. Dressed sharply with subtle nods to his father's iconic style, he looked confident yet reserved, a young man honoring his legacy without seeking the spotlight. One of his most notable interviews came in November 2021 on Good Morning Britain, where he spoke passionately about climate change. It was a rare moment of Bigi using his platform for something bigger than himself. He talked about wanting to make a real impact on the environment, showing a thoughtful and socially conscious side that reflects the values Michael tried to teach his children. These small glimpses, the Film Family videos, the award-winning short film, the red carpet appearances, and the climate interview, feel like precious unseen footage of Bigi's world. They reveal a young man who is creative, caring, and determined to carve his own path. He may not chase fame, but when he does step forward, it's always with purpose. What makes Bigi truly special is how he balances his famous last name with a desire for normalcy. In an era where celebrity kids often chase clout, Bigi chooses quiet strength. His hidden talent in filmmaking, combined with his private lifestyle, suggests he could have a bright future as a director or storyteller if he decides to pursue it more publicly one day. For now, Bigi Jackson continues to live life on his own terms, away from drama, focused on family, creativity, and the simple joys that keep him grounded. And in those rare videos and appearances, we catch just enough to see the resilient, talented young man Michael Jackson would be incredibly proud of. Fast forward to today. In his mid-20s, Bigi Jackson has become the definition of low-profile living in a very famous family. While the world continues to speculate about every member of the Jackson clan, Bigi chooses peace and privacy above everything else. A typical day for Bigi might look surprisingly ordinary. He wakes up in his Calabasas home, perhaps starts the morning with martial arts training in his backyard or a home gym to stay centered and strong. After that, he might spend hours working on film projects, editing footage, writing scripts, or brainstorming new story ideas. His passion for filmmaking has only grown stronger. The short film that won Best Drama at the Santa Monica Film Festival showed the world he has real talent behind the camera. Insiders say he's incredibly detail-oriented, patient, and has a natural gift for capturing deep human emotions, perhaps drawn from his own experiences of loss and resilience. Bigi is also deeply passionate about climate change. He doesn't just talk about it for show. In his private life, he makes conscious choices, whether it's driving an electric car, supporting environmental causes quietly, or using his voice in that rare 2021 Good Morning Britain interview to urge people to take action. It's clear he wants to honor his father's love for the planet in his own quiet way. Public appearances remain extremely rare. In April 2026, Bigi stepped out for the world premiere of the Michael biopic in Berlin, Germany. Walking the red carpet with his brother Prince and cousin Jafar, he looked sharp and composed. Dressed in a suit with subtle nods to his father's iconic style, an armband and gold accents, he represented the family with dignity. It was one of his first major public appearances in years, and fans were thrilled to see him honoring his father's legacy on such a big stage. But just as quickly as he appeared, he returned to his private world. Another touching moment came in 2023 when he joined the family at a Michael Jackson 1 performance in Las Vegas on what would have been Michael's 65th birthday. These rare family gatherings show that despite everything, the siblings remain close and continue to support one another. Unlike many celebrity kids who chase fame, Bigi focuses on personal growth, family bonds, and his creative passions. He stays away from drama, avoids social media scandals, and lives a relatively normal life, hanging out with cousins, spending time with loved ones, and working on projects that matter to him. There's a quiet strength in how he carries the Jackson name without letting it define every aspect of his existence. Bigi Jackson's journey is nothing short of inspiring. From the baby wrapped in a blanket who was dangled over a Berlin balcony, to the 7-year-old boy who lost his father too soon, to the private young man pursuing filmmaking and fighting for the planet. He is living proof of Michael Jackson's love and the incredible strength that can rise from tragedy. Michael once said a blanket is a blessing, a way of showing love and caring. In many ways, Bigi has carried that blessing forward. He may be the most private of Michael's children, but his story speaks volumes about resilience, identity, and choosing your own path even when the whole world is watching. If there's one thing we can learn from Bigi, it's that true strength often lives quietly. He continues to honor his father's legacy not through loud declarations, but through his actions, his creativity, and the dignified way he moves through life. What do you think about Bigi's journey? Do you believe we'll see more of him in the film industry? Or do you want to know more about another member of the Jackson family? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe to Black Legend, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Next time, we'll be uncovering even more hidden stories from the Jackson family. Maybe something even more shocking. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Remember, behind every legend is a story of love, pain, and unbreakable spirit. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.